Hey guys, it's Bubbles here, and today I'm having a video. It's a how-to video on how to take care of a hamster. Today's video will go over how you get a hamster, how much it'll cost yearly, what it needs to eat, and overall what you'll need if you're buying a new hamster, you never bought one before, or you want to buy a new one, and you just want to refresh some basics. And my hamster is what is called a teddy bear hamster, or a Syrian hamster, and he's about 5 months old, so I've gone through everything that you need to know to get a hamster, and I hope you guys enjoy this how-to. And before we go see my hamster, I wanted to point out one thing that is probably the biggest knowledge you need to know. Hamsters are nocturnal, which means that they sleep during the day, most of the day, and they are awake during most of the night. They usually wake up my hamster around 4, 5, or 6 at night, and they start getting active around 7, and he's most active around 10 or 11, and my hamster usually goes to sleep around 6 or 7 in the morning. So if a young kid wants to get this, then it's probably not a good idea, because hamsters are usually not awake in the day, and if you have to stay up late to see hamsters, and usually young kids don't stay up as late as much, so that's why having a hamster isn't as good for younger kids. And they are nocturnal, and they do make quite a bit of noise, so one of the main things you want to do is get stuff that is quiet, and you want to put them in a place where he will not disturb you while you are sleeping or during nighttime. Let's go see my hamster. His name is Mr. Bubbles. So, this is Mr. Bubbles' cage. He's in my closet, so he's far enough away where I don't hear him at night. And here are the important things that you need to know. He has to have enough space. He has 2 different areas, and there's a little tube that he can go through that helps him to be able to maneuver around and stay a lot more healthy. And hamsters can squeeze down, so these tubes are perfect for them doing that. Also has a little top area where you can just open up the lock, and you can pet him. This is Mr. Bubbles. Mr. Bubbles, say hi to the camera. And he's very cute. And you can see the proportion of him to my hand. He's about as long as my hand. He's curled up right now, though. And I'm just going to close this back up, Mr. Bubbles, so you can come out in a minute. He also has a tube connecting back down to his main area, a water bottle, 2 platforms that he can climb up, because hamsters are excellent climbers. And also he has his food bowl, which you should usually start with what he or she eats at wherever you get them from. And also he has a little igloo that he can sleep in. In his other connected area, he has a hamster wheel, which he uses for exercise. He also has a lot of, you can see those little wooden blocks, those are chew toys, because their teeth are very sharp. And their teeth need to be used on this so that they can maintain and not grow out of proportion. And also, including eating the normal hamster food, Mr. Bubbles also really likes vegetables. I mean, vegetables and fruits are awesome. Carrots, broccoli, grapes, watermelon, apples, all of those are great for hamsters. And he usually is supposed to have at least half an hour out in his play ball. And his play ball, little round ball, this is the lid to it. I'll bring it out in a minute. And as you can see, he's going through his tube right here. And in his little play ball, he rolls around outside, and it's a great way for them to learn their habitat and for them to be safe while doing it. And petting hamsters is completely safe. And the thing is, hamsters may bite you, and it's not that bad. When hamsters bite you, just make sure you apply some soap and water to it and put a band-aid over it, just like anything normal. The only reason a hamster will bite you is if they feel threatened, or they are feeling very upset if you haven't fed them in a while. Even if you haven't fed them, they store food in their cheeks and all over their area after a while, and it'll make sure that they have extra food just in case you forget. And the only reason they'll bite you is if you're scared of them, because they are more scared of you than you are of them. And another thing, hamsters are very smart, and they will find any way to get out of their cage. They will be able to screw off lids if you don't tie them tightly. They can squeeze through spaces if you haven't locked them all the way. And they can find all different ways to get out of their cage. Once they get out of their cage, some hamsters like mine will just stay back here and then you have to go get them. But some hamsters will escape, climb into your walls, go outside. So it's important that you make sure you close everything, check that it's closed, and make sure that you give them the proper care they need so they don't try to escape. And I'm about to bring out Mr. Bubbles and show you his ball. This is the hamster ball. You'll want to have them go in the hamster ball about 1 to 2 hours per nighttime, especially when they're most active, because they can use this ball. Just screw on the lid and make sure you know where they're going to be, and make sure you know where they're going to be maneuvered around, because if you don't know, it's going to take a lot longer. So make sure everything's lit and that they know where they're supposed to go and where they're not supposed to go. And make sure that you wash out the ball probably 1 to 2 times a week. And with the cage, you got to make sure that you wash the cage at least 3 times a month. Every other week or every week is usually a good idea. Take out all the stuff, take out all the bottom stuff and the pellets that soak up all their poop and pee and their pellets, and take that out, flush it out, and then put everything back in and make sure the hamster's out while you're doing this. And now we're going to take out Mr. Bubbles. As you can see, we have a great bond, and I'm not scared of him and he's not scared of me, so I can hold him in my hand, put him on my head, put him anywhere, and he's pretty safe. He just doesn't like being out all the time. And one of the great pluses of having a hamster is that they are adorable. And hamsters are very curious. So you want to take them to new places and give them new things so they can learn just what your house and what you are like. And all these hamsters have lots of different personalities. And one of the important things to note is that their hearing is not very good. I mean, their hearing is very good, and their sense of smell and hearing are very good, and their sense of eyesight, seeing, is not very good. So you don't want to always go near them with your face. You want to make sure that they can smell you. Put your finger right up next to them, and you can see their nose twitch and they smell you. They can also hear you talk. So you want to make sure that you're not too loud when talking near them. And I'm pretty sure I covered all the basics. Make sure you fill up their water, their food. Make sure you take them with lots of love and care. And I'm going to take out Mr. Bubbles right here. Mr. Bubbles, if you could turn around, we'll come on and interview you out. So as you can see, Mr. Bubbles is out to see the camera. And he's 5 months, so when they're first born, teddy bear hamsters will usually be about 2 or 3 inches long, and they can grow up to 5 or 6 inches. As you can see, putting them on your head can be fun too. They love crawling around you, and a good way, if they're really like moving around and freaking out and you want them to just sit down, put them up to your face. Just want to sit there, give them kisses, and that'll kind of calm them down a bit. And Mr. Bubbles is very curious. He loves climbing around. He's very smart. He's escaped 3 times, even though I've always capped the doors. I've always done all that, but he still figures out ways to escape. So, Mr. Bubbles, you can say one last goodbye, and then I'll look back and see if I missed anything. But besides that, making sure hamsters aren't that big of a deal. You just have to make sure you follow these tips, and you can have a hamster of your own that is very fun. So, Mr. Bubbles, make sure you say goodbye. So, one of the most important things that most people say, one of the reasons that they don't have hamsters is because of the cost. They say that having a hamster can cost a lot of money, and it can cost a lot of money, but you have to make sure that you find good deals. And here are how much some of the things cost. So the actual cage and all the tubing you'll need for the cage or two will probably be around $50, or if you can get it online, you can probably get it down to $20. And really expensive large cage with lots of tubing up around can cost up to $100. And you can also just use maybe a spare box or a glass with holes in it as a new house for them. Now, all the bedding, you'll probably need 2 or 3 boxes of bedding right down here in pellets per year, which can cost around $20 or $30. Obviously, the water can be covered just within your house if you have running water. And then the food, you'll need probably about 5, 6, or 7 bags of food, depending on how big your hamster is. This is per year, and that annually probably costs another $20, $30, depending on what food you get. And also the vegetables will also be included depending on how much you feed him vegetables. The hamster wheel and all the other toys that you'll want to get for him, if you'll need chewing toys and the hamster wheel, those combined probably will cost $15, $20, but if you get them a lot of toys, that can cost up to $50. And probably the hamster ball, $10, $5, $15. You want to make sure that you get a silent hamster ball and a silent wheel that don't make a lot of noise, because those can be very annoying. And the hamsters might not use their wheel at first because they're not really used to it and they don't know how it works. But after a while, they'll start to get really used to the wheel. And Mr. Bubbles is somewhere out in the kitchen. And surprisingly, the thing that costs the least is the actual hamster, which can range from $3 to $12 or $15, depending if you get a midget hamster or a teddy bear hamster or some other type of hamster. So in total, yearly for all the food, that'll probably cost $100 for all the food, water, and supplies for bedding. Maybe around $50 to $120. All the tubes and the house and the wheel and the toys will cost about $120 to about $300. The actual hamster, only about $10 or $15. So it can, in total, be around $500 for the entire hamster's lifespan. But compared to a dog, cat, bird, or other animals, this is relatively cheap. And a lot more cheap than what some people think. Some people think that hamsters cost like $2,000, but it's not even close to that. So I hope you've enjoyed this kind of oddball, off-script, how-to video about hamsters. I'm glad that Mr. Bubbles was able to join us too. And I think he is right down here. Say goodbye, Mr. Bubbles. It was a bit of a different video. If you'd like to see a different how-to video or you have something, make sure you tell me in the comments. And that's it for today. This has been How to Take Care of a Hamster. Goodbye. Bubbles is out.